So this is my first official big board for 2021 NBA draft. I know I actually did a big board a while ago on this draft, but that was when these guys were in high school. And a lot has changed since then. Guys have moved up, guys have moved down the board. And I'm excited to show you a big board 1.0 for this draft. This is coming a lot later than I thought it would. But I'm excited. There's going to be some things that you expect. There's going to be some things that shock you as well. But that's the joy of it, because everyone has their own opinions on things. I have my own opinions on this draft and some of these players. So be ready for that. But I've noticed that about 76% of you guys that watch my videos happen to not be subscribed. So if you happen to fall into that 76%, or you just happen to be new and like what you see, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos to take elements from film essays and apply them to basketball. I also make videos that cover the NBA draft like this video, and high school basketball as well. So if you're into any of those things, this is the channel for you. Let's try to get 60 likes on this video. Make sure you follow my Twitter and my TikTok for more basketball content, or if you just want to see what I'm like outside of basketball, links to everything in the description as always. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. Cade Cunningham is the best prospect in this draft. I believe he's a generational talent. He's somebody that can play multiple positions due to his size and skill set, and really to somebody that has a rare combination of size, skill, basketball IQ, feel for the game, and leadership intangibles. Really everything you look for in a franchise player. This is a no-brainer number one. I think some people are overthinking it. Evan Mobley is an easy number 2 in this draft for me. If Cade's 2-1, Mobley's 1.5. Evan Mobley just has insane feel for the game. He has insane versatility on both ends of the floor. He can pass, shoot, dribble. He can switch, he can hedge, he can drop, he can play multiple defensive coverages. There's just so much to like about him as a prospect. And I think that because of that, it just makes him easy number 2. Minus the weight, which is the one concern I have with him, I think this is a very complete prospect. I know I'm alone in this boat of having Jaden Springer as high as number 3. I know some people will like his teammate KEON Johnson even more. But for me, I like Jaden Springer. I like his frame. I like his passing ability. Love the defense in the motor. I think the motor is going to keep him in the league for a long time. I think he has more scoring potential than others do. Lacks burst. Lacks some vertical explosion as well. Wouldn't say he's unathletic, but these are just notes that I had when I watched him play when he was finishing around the rim. And as somebody that I think, considering how good he is and considering he's a year younger than a lot of his one-and-done peers, like, I think this is somebody that has a higher ceiling than people will give him credit for. Now, I should let you know, because I know I just shocked a lot of people with that number 3 on my board. 3 through 6 in this draft, so the next 3 guys, and as well as Jaden Springer, all had the same grade for me. They still do. They're all in the same tier for me. So what that means is necessarily somebody that will be ranked number 6 on the board isn't me saying he's not necessarily a top 5 or top 3 talent. It's me saying that there are a bunch of guys in this range that have top 3 talent. So in this scenario, there will be 4 guys that I believe have top 3 talent, but there's only so many spots in the draft, and that's why they ranked where they are. But I want to let you guys know it's more about the talent being so good than it is about the discrepancy, because I view 3 through 6 in this draft like almost equally. I actually split hairs over trying to pick these guys and where to place them. Now, I want to get this quickly out of the way. The only reason Springer is ahead of Suggs is because of the fact that I think that they're similar prospects, more similar than people would want to give credit for, and Springer is like a full year younger than him. So that's the only reason why. But to talk about Suggs in a positive light, I love him a lot. Strength, it factor, passing, defense. He's unselfish but knows when to take over. That's a very valuable skill set to have. I do have questions about if he's a primary initiator or not. I think he projects as like a Halliburton type with more on-ball creating potential, but still that kind of archetype, and has some turnover problems as well. But because of the motor and the passing and the IQ and the competitiveness, it makes him, along with Springer, two of the more safer guard prospects in this draft. At number 5, we have Jalen Green, who is the best athlete in this class, not only because he can jump high, but because he has great flexibility, and he also has great body control, which leads to him being one of the, if not the best finisher in this draft. I'm really encouraged by the fact that he put up good scoring numbers on a really good efficiency in the bubble. And it's against NBA level athletes, so that's very encouraging. I do have concerns about, shot selection. Frame will need to improve as well. I think those things will naturally improve over time. I would say that his all-around game is a bit questionable. Like, the other guys that are ahead of him, like, you can say that like they have multiple skill sets that could lead to some level of success. I don't really know what Jalen Green does outside of scoring. If the scoring goes back, I'm not saying he's one-dimensional by any stretch of the imagination, and I think his scoring ability is incredible. But I don't know if the other skills, like, even if it's not enough to say he's one-dimensional, is it enough to say like, okay, he has enough skills to say that if the scoring doesn't work, he is this. Like, that's the one concern I have with him. At number 6, we have Jonathan Kuminga, who is the final G League prospect to make the top 10, and the final of that 3-6 tier of guys that I believe all have like potential to go top 3. With Kuminga, you get a really good athlete, has an insane frame for somebody that's only 19 years old, one of the youngest players in the draft. He's like Springer, where he's a year younger than some of these one-and-done guys. Really good defensive potential. He's a good rebounder. Perimeter shooting does concern me. Did take a good volume of him. I think the confidence alone is enough of an indicator, but it's still very concerning that his free throw numbers will go, although I do think that the one free throw rule in the G League did play a factor in that, where you got one free throw worth 2 shots. I think that played a factor as well. Shot selection does need to improve. The thing that does concern me is a lot of things he did need to improve on, I believe in the G League, weren't improved on. But I still think that there are enough of the things and enough of the flashes of the potential that I like for me to not drop him past 6. Like, I still was thinking about keeping him at 3, but I just think that the concern about like what he hasn't improved on was enough. But I still like him a lot. He's still my favorite prospect in this draft. At number 7, we have Moses Moody, who's one of the better shooters in the draft. I actually think he has some shot creating potential as well. I think he has good defensive potential. He showed a lot of good signs on defense during his time at Arkansas. Really good rebounder for a guard as well. Draws fouls at a pretty good rate for somebody that's not the most athletic guy in the world. I do think that he has his fair share of shooting slumps. I think it's encouraging that he can bounce back for them, but the fact that he had as many as he did throughout that season is a bit concerning. I will say that. And he isn't the most explosive guard in the world. He's really safe. I will say that. I think that, at worst, you're getting a guy that can shoot off the bench. Every team could use a guy like that. And he can play defense. At his best, I think he could be like an above average two-way guard forward type. Like, I think that, there's a decent ceiling on him and a really high floor. And that's why I have him at number 7. At number 8, we have Scotty Barnes, who might be one of the more versatile players in this draft. And he's one of the best defenders in this draft, in my opinion, as well. Great defensive versatility, can guard multiple spots. Insane motor. Plays every game like it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Really good passer for a power forward as well. Definitely among the forwards, he's one of the best passers, if not the best passer, unless we're considering Cade a forward. But besides that, does have some concerns. Half-court offense isn't good. Perimeter shooting is not good. And off-ball offense is not good either. If he doesn't have the ball in his hands in the half-court, it's hard to say what he's really doing. I'll be quite honest with you. But I do think that the motor, defensive versatility, and passing will at least make him an energy guy off the bench. And I think if everything goes right, he could be one of the more fun, versatile, playmaking big forwards in the league. At number 9, I have ZIAIRE Williams. I know that some people actually have him ranked outside of like the lottery, which I think is ridiculous. The flashes of talent you just see from him are rare. You don't find guys that are 6'8" with these kind of shot creating skills often. And the flashes he shows as a shot creator are special. And some of the passing flashes as well are really encouraging. Now, he's inconsistent. He doesn't have the best feel for the game, which I think could be concerning. But if you get him in the right team, you could develop him into being like one of the best players in this draft, like one of the 3. Like, I think he has that much potential. If he was consistently good, like if he, like his flashes were substance, he's an easy number 3 player for me in this draft. And I think that at the worst, if he was consistent, he would be in that 3 to 6 like kind of discussion like those other guys that I mentioned earlier. But because he's so inconsistent, he is at number 9 for me. And at number 10, we have KEON Johnson. KEON Johnson is one of the more athletic players in this draft. If it wasn't for Jalen Green, I think there's a legit case for KEON Johnson taking that spot as the best like athlete from the guard spot in this draft. He shows a lot of potential on defense. He shows some passing flashes and overall offensive flashes as a scorer as well. Offensive consistency is a concern, not a good perimeter shooter. I don't think you can leave him open, which again fits the baseline, but still we'll need to improve on that. Fouling can be a bit of an issue as well, but I really like him. I like both of these Tennessee prospects. I think both of them, depending on where the site is, like the rankings are all over the place because they didn't put up great numbers at Tennessee, but that really wasn't their fault. It was really the fault of Rick Barnes for not playing them properly and playing arguably his 2 best players like their 2 best players. He treated them like they were role players, which it was just not a good situation. I can go on a whole rant about that in another video. But that is the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all those things, be a big help to me. Let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think about my big board for top 10? Who would you have? Who would you remove? Who's higher on your board? I know there's going to be some controversy about who I have at number 3. I really don't care. It's just how I feel. And I would love to hear that stuff down in the comment section below. If you have time, go check out another video of mine. I have a bunch of videos covering this draft, covering last year's draft, and about the NBA, high school basketball in general. So there's over 300 videos, so you'll find something you'll like. I'm willing to bet a lot of money on that. But yeah, with that being said, have a nice day.